reset the counter so we can get actual footage, and away we go. I'm curious about that spot that I was hitting, and this is flat.
That's why we keep backing up, because flushing the water, but it's not flushing the toilet paper.
Yo. Yeah.
And part of our plumbing
Is
are
what?
broken underground, like the bottom of the pipe.
He
broken
called.
in
He
areas.
Well, he called me. He's on a bottom floor, I guess, and the screws in the overflow were rotted. So when he went to unscrew the overflow plate, the screws broke. So Vance might be able to get lucky and go up there and get the screws out and just put in a new tub faceplate, a blank one, with new screws. That's what it sounds like to me, Sid.
1 minute. He's on the phone. So I'm saying the only way he could have noticed it is if he would actually put a camera down the drain like this guy is, because he wouldn't have been able
So
to.
does Devin need it? Did June want him to come out there?
They did? Okay, that's what I was asking you. They did or they didn't. 1 minute.
I haven't heard from Devin, Sid, since I told him to call June. So I would imagine either that or call Devin and ask him. Alright, bye.
Could the inspector have noticed it? Because they did do a camera before he bought the house.
Do you guys have the video of it and everything like
We
that?
have the video of it still? He said, do we have the video? Because they should have sent us the video. Yeah, we have the video.
And then the other thing is, did they TV all of the house or did they just TV the sewer?
Did they TV all the house or just the sewer part? She has no idea.
Okay.
But you still have the imaging of it? Yeah, she still has the imaging of it.
Without being able to see it, sir?
I know what I'm saying. Would the inspector been able to do a scene if he can't, you know?
One would think so, but it may have been intact at that time.
Okay.
And then just since you and your wife have been here, just been slowly deteriorating. You know.
He said he could have, he might have seen it, but it could have been intact at that time.
And this is
Could have
flat.
disappeared over time.
Not a lot of fall on this.
We've been here 2 years.
You've been here 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah. So I would actually have to see their video
He said he would actually have to see the video.
and see all the buildup on the sides of the pipe. So this run, we're heading that way, sir.
Yeah.
It's flat too,
Okay.
and the cast has just as much kind of ridge buildup on the sides of the pipe as well. Like I've been underwater the entire time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then there's that turn. And I'm trying to see if I can't get an actual footage for you. So I zeroed the camera right when I got down this stack. It's just, that's the only bad thing when you have like long ranch style houses. They're just so long and you have some plumbing that starts clear on the other end of the house. And there was just no way for the plumbers to get adequate fall. So it's not uncommon out here. You know, it kind of, you know, it is what it is, you know. And like I said, right now, all we have running is just the kitchen. So I could just imagine, you know, with, you know, people taking showers or flushing stools on this side, things of that nature. Because I'm 44 feet out right now, and we're still in cast iron. I was guesstimating about 50, right at 50 or a little bit before 50 to get out of the house. So from here, your building connection, there's the clay tile. So your building connection is at 48 feet from here. So now we're just probably 2 or 3 feet outside the foundation wall.
Okay.
So now we're outside. So we know that that stack over there at the base of the stairs,
Yeah.
all the way across that floor where it ties in on this side,
Yeah.
that pipe's not looking good. So that's why you guys keep having problems. It's so rusted up with buildup, all your paper is snagging upright. Just like I said, about 10 to 12 feet downstream of that floor drain by that furnace, this way of it, is where you're hanging up at.
So just no more toll paper going up.
Until you guys kind of figure out what you want to do. Because right now you have two options. You can either run the chain cutter down it, the chain knocker head, and see how much of that crap can get banged off that pipe to smooth it up. The only downside to that method of cleaning is it will show every imperfection of the pipe. So if there are any other holes, if the cast iron is cracked, anything like that, it's going to show. The camera's going to pick it up. Because you got to have the camera when you run that chain head.
Yeah.
You have to have both. So you can't just run the chain head without the camera. You got to be able to see and check your progress. To do something like that, you're probably going to be anywhere between $600 and $800. But if you were to break up the floor all the way from that stack all the way across to over here, you're probably going to be $6,000-7,000
Yeah.
easy. And this section, sir, is flat.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of fall. I'm in the clay tile right now. So far, so good with it. Hey, how are you, ma'am?
Sounds bad.
Well, you know, I'm not trying to sound like the Grim Reaper of plumbing,
Yeah.
but basically, in a nutshell, I was telling your husband that the rule of thumb on cast iron. So this is all copper.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing applies with the other stack that's at the base of the stairs there.
Mm-hmm.
All the plumbing underneath the floor is all cast iron. It's that steel.
Mm-hmm.
The rule of thumb is 50 to 55 year lifespan
Okay.
is typical. Now, I'm not saying that's true for everybody.
It's probably about how old the house is.
I have had homes that out in Clay Como that are over 100 years old and the cast looks immaculate. But if it was an elderly person that lived here prior to you guys taking over, unfortunately, that's the worst person you want
Yeah.
because they don't run a lot of water through the system.
Yeah.
So what happens is the pipe sits drier than normal because it's probably just her.
In like the last year, I think she's mostly in the hospital. I don't think anyone.
And that's worse too because
Yeah.
now you have nobody here
Yeah.
to run water, and that's the worst thing that you guys can do with cast iron.
Yeah.
So you've already hit the lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already there. We've got the rust buildup. We've got the grease buildup. The pipe does not have adequate fall from there to here. The sewer, ma'am, actually leaves out by where your sump pump is in that other room.
Mm-hmm.
The city main is clear across the other side of the cul-de-sac.
Oh wow. Okay.
If you're holding true that way, which I believe you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, best case scenario, we did pull roots out of this,
Mm-hmm.
out of the clay tile. It opened up at around 140, 145.
Okay.
From here, if they were to run from over there, it would take you easily a little over 100 foot just to get out of the house.
Wow. Okay.
Okay? So that's the reason why I ran from over here, because it only took me like 48 feet to get out.
Okay.
So I ate less distance from here to there. So what I'm hoping for, because in the state of Kansas, you guys are responsible for the entire line,
Yeah.
from where it starts to where it ends, including the tap. So if anything is damaged or broken underneath the cul-de-sac, underneath that little grass island, anything like that, anything like that, that's your all's baby. The city will help you zero.
Which is why you got the protection.
That's why we recommend that people get exactly. Hey, lover, what are you doing? Such a doll.
You want her?
That's
I'm just
why. That's the reason why I tell everybody to get that insurance. So
And you're also saying that part of the piker is broken.
that is correct. So you've got a section, ma'am, where the bottom of the pipe is gone, and it's approximately 12 feet this way of the floor drain that's by that furnace.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like it's got a big hole in it. You can just see where the pipes thinned out,
Yeah.
and it's like goes like this and then comes back in. So it's not like the whole bottom of the pipe's wiped out,
Yeah.
but it's not intact.
So how do you? I heard two different figures when I was walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, essentially, I have no way to, theoretically, I would love to reroute it
Mhm.
to where I can bring all that plumbing overhead
Mhm.
and then, tie it in another spot.
Sure.
But I don't have that privilege per se. I kind of do, but I don't. Because I'm still going to have to break the floor no matter what.
Yeah.
So even if I were to run the pipe overhead and bring it all the way across here, basically that's quite a bit, because I have that half bath that's over there,
Yeah.
your other bathrooms over here,
And there's one over in that.
then you've got the other stack over here that's in that. So the reroute's kind of out of the question.
Yeah.
So you're back to your jackhammer.
And he was maybe recommending not flushing probably to go down the drain until
It depends on, until you guys kind of figure out kind of what you want to do. That's the only reason why I was wondering how much of this the inspector actually TV'd.
Yeah. I have
So
no
I don't
idea.
know if he just went from here on out,
Mhm.
or if he TV'd all this and the other one. You know what I mean? I don't know how far he or she took with it.
I'll have to.
And I have no video to compare to myself. But if we were to have to break up from all the way over there by that half bath, we're gonna end up clear over here in this area, and you're probably gonna be $6-7 grand easy. And then we don't know the condition of the next run up. This one that I'm currently in, it is flat, doesn't have a lot of fall, but it's not in as bad a shape as what this is over here.
So say if we don't do anything for a while, what happens? Just keeps happening?
Uh,
Or that's not even an option?
well, if you were to keep using the bathrooms, yeah, this will just be an ongoing issue. The other thing that we could try to do is run a chain cutter from that stack over there, and it basically knocks the pipe with basically a chain, and it knocks all that rust and crap out. Okay. No method of drain cleaning will ever bring your pipe back 100%.
Right.
So if anybody ever tells you that, they're foolish. So, but we can try to smooth it up better. But what I was explaining to your husband too, when you do that method, you can actually find every imperfection of the pipe.
Yeah.
So we don't know until you start. You have nothing to lose by doing that. Doing something like that would run you guys somewhere around $600-800. Because I gotta have the camera here when I do it, and I gotta run tons of water while I do it. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
But it could be one of those deals where that may be a better option for you to start instead of punching up the floor.
How much time does that save us?
As far as,
And I know you don't have to fix the wall, but.
no, that's like us going to the doctor and saying, hey man, how long do I have left to live, you know? I mean, it could stay good for 5 years. It could completely crap out on you in 3 months. There's really no physical way for me to physically tell you an exact.
I think also maybe not flushing snow maybe down the drain would also do with
Well, eventually, what's going to wind up happening is the ridges are going to get bigger. You're going to get more rust buildup, and you're not really saving yourself anything. Is what I'm getting at.
So really, it's kind of like throwing away $800 for tools that you already know you have to do.
Well, yes and no. We already know we got one section that's gonna have to go. But, if it was my home, what I would do, I always recommend cheaper first. So if I were in your shoes, I would chain knock it, and if we can get it back pretty damn good, call it a day.
Yeah.
plumbing
Like
under the
tiny for
basement.
a village home and just a tiny section, I already know.
Yeah, yeah.
Bring a portion.
Yeah, it gets stupid expensive.
Oh God, I
Now
know.
the next thing that we
Like
can
talk
hope
about
for.
that, oh.
Yeah. So if it was me, guys, that's where I would start first.
Okay.
Because if you don't start somewhere and soon,
Yeah.
this is just gonna keep happening, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we have $800 whenever you can do it. I think that's enough. Or 900
I mean,
or whatever
because
you said.
this right here today is probably gonna run you about 4.
Okay.
Because we were clogged all the way out to the city.
Jesus.
That's what I'm hoping, that I don't find any BS on that run,
Mm-hmm.
and that we can keep everything contained inside here.
Yeah.
You know.
You can do it today.
Oh no, that's a completely different piece of equipment.
Okay.
So starting at, just to let you know, like I said, I have no previous camera footage to go by. I zeroed the camera from here, so we're pretty accurate on footage. So we're outside, starting at 60 foot, 1 inch.
Yeah.
You have a belly.
Okay.
We're going underwater right now. So at 61
When you say
foot,
you're going underwater, you mean there's water?
there's a
behind?
dip, yeah.
Okay.
And then we come out of it completely at like 64 foot. That's not a major deal. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that by any means. That's, not uncommon out here.
That's the clay part you said?
Yes, sir. So this is all outside.
This all in the back.
Back that way.
Out front.
Out front.
Oh.
Yes, sir. This is all out front. You only have one line that leaves your property.
Okay.
Everything underneath the floor is where everything ties together.
Okay.
So you only have one pipe.
Okay.
So far, so good.
Good.
So since, like I said, I don't have anything else to compare to. So you've got a little bit of root intrusion right there at about the
Is that
90.
root intrusion?
Yep, where roots are growing in.
Okay.
That's at 95. That's nothing major to worry about. You're going to want to clean this line every year, regardless whether you're backed up or not. Because if you don't, and the roots start growing in thicker and thicker and thicker, eventually the pressure can break the tile.
Okay. So after you get done doing this, you have to have it done for like another year or whatever?
Yeah, at least for the outside. You guys will just kind of have to figure out. You need to turn that kitchen sink on. Cold water only, please. 104 right now.
When you go up there, just tell them it has to stay on. Okay.
Yeah. And here's another root ball.
How you can tell a root ball?
You can just tell it.
Oh, really?
See that ball right there?
Yeah.
That's at 107 feet. Right there.
Okay.
That one's been getting kind of thick right there. And you have more roots right there at around 115. You've got roots there. You have roots at about 117. They're growing in right there. And just to let you know, this is 3 inch.
Yeah.
Down underneath the floor, it's 4 inch.
Okay.
This is 6 inch.
Okay.
That's out and outside.
How do we get the root out of the drain?
To get the roots completely out of the drain, to where it kind of would like lessen the blow on you,
Yeah.
you would have to hydrojet.
What's that?
Basically, it's like taking your sewer line to a car wash.
Okay.
We use high pressure water to blast it.
Okay.
And then we have special heads that can cut those roots out. So right now we're at 130 feet.
one of the guys or the other guy up there asked me about putting a bathroom down here, and if it was wise to start. I said, we'll probably work on that line. If you're gonna work on that line, then yeah, you could add that bathroom.
All right. So there's the city sewer at 133 feet 9 inches
Okay.
from this stack.
Okay.
So 100 foot won't even scratch the
Yeah.
surface. They're gonna have to add cable every time.
Okay.
We did
Mm-hmm.
to
That's
open
the
it.
city sewer right
Mm-hmm. That's the city main right there. Yes,
Okay.
sir. And I paced it off roughly at 137,
there. Okay.
roughly.
We're at one.
So we're at 133. So I wasn't too far
Yeah,
off.
yeah. That's pretty good.
So I guesstimated at 137 feet, and we're at 133, almost 134 inches or feet out. So the good news is your clay tile doesn't look too horrible. You are getting spots in there where roots are intruding the pipe.
Could that wait like a month or two until we get it done?
Oh yeah, it's not something that you have to rush on right this second.
The more important thing is here.
What's that?
The more important part is the part in the house right now.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big deal. We got roots there. Roots there. And it's 6-inch clay tile. It's not 4-inch. Got roots there. And see, and that's the problem when you encounter when you're cleaning a 6-inch clay line.
Right.
The cable's never going to hit the same spot twice.
Right.
And the only way to get rid of those would be to completely jet it, get as many of them out as you can, and get it under control. At the other house?
No, here.
Oh, about putting a bathroom down here?
Yeah. I was like, well, I
You
think
would not want to mess with that right now, not until they can get all this.
Yeah, that's what I told him. You might, if you're gonna do the bathroom, yeah, you can do it, but you guys might want to
Deal with that.
line first.
You don't want to add a bathroom down here right now.
But yeah, I wouldn't add it until.
Yeah. Yep. And then there's the small belly, which I knew was already there. 'Cause now we're back. Coming out of it. Yep. And see, and this is just the kitchen sink running.
Right.
No toilets being flushed. So there's your building connection. Right there.
Okay.
That's your cast of clay. That's just outside.
Now you're back in the cast.
Yep, we're back into the cast.
Call that a chain head?
Yeah. Yeah, it basically runs off your drill.
Oh.
Chuck your drill up to it, and it's a knocker,
Okay.
and it spins off the RPMs of your drill.
Wow. It's just one big old line, or?
Yeah, it's coiled up in a drum,
Oh, okay.
and all of this is just, it's flat. There's just not a good fall on this pipe. So right here is where that kitchen Y and all that bathroom run ties in here.
Oh, okay. Because that
You can
was
see all the
dumping.
water dumping.
Mhm.
can see all the chunks of the paper
Mm-hmm.
where it had liquefied right in here. So this side was loaded up too.
Well, she found the video.
Did she?
It's on her phone.